Yo, what up? Good morning, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just here. I already went live on Facebook, Instagram, and now I'm here. I don't have the live option yet, but hey, this is just as live. As soon as you see it, it'll be live to you, right? So, anywho, I'm just kidding. So, anyway, what I was doing here is just going over some stretches. I mean, I'm sure that you guys have seen this before. This is the first time that I'm doing it to where I'm actually speaking without a production or anything like that. So I hope you guys enjoy this. So just moving right here along, opening up the hip muscle, the turnout, because I've had some problems. Because I when I was a kid, I had braces and my legs were bowed, kind of like this. They were bowled out. And so anyway, there's some things that are transferred over that I didn't take care of. Although I maintained some level of flexibility, but these deep tissue issues in my hips, along the pelvis, and the way that my pelvis rocks. Well, I have here the turnout on the right foot. So I'm tight here, and I have a hard time turning inward, but from the hip though. Okay, maintaining this straightness right here, where the hip is just relaxing and giving way to this forward momentum. Okay, so I have an issue there, and then on the left one, this one is the problem is turning out. I have a tight, or had more pronounced because I've been working on it. I had a tight, really tight turnout, and I wasn't able to turn out at the hip, and there would be some wrenching at the joint, which when I was younger I didn't really pay attention to it. I would just muscle through, but really through the practice, via just loving the martial arts and wanting to gain greater flexibility, I learned that those deep tissue issues need to be they need to be approached with time. So normally I would do stretches to supplement whatever training I had in martial arts, but now, especially lately, on since the lockdown, shutdown, whatever, I've been making stretching its own practice, separate and apart from the practice of movements and things like that. Okay, so now it's intensely focusing on the stretching and all parts involved in each stretch. So you see here that I have it's my ridge of my foot turns out. So when I stand, there's more pressure coming to the outside. So I need to, oh, I got calluses and all kinds of dirt on my, oh my God. Okay, you guys are seeing. Well, anyway, so just get the message, okay? All right, so anyway, I have a turning out of my foot right here. And so when I stand, I'm standing on the outer edge because it's not allowing the foot to turn flat like that. So now I've been paying intense attention to my posture, the reason why my shoes were worn a specific way. So, these things you have to pay attention to. And this one right here, I need to get this one to turn out this way comfortably, but like moving forward in a sense. And there's not as much tightness here on the outer ridge of my foot as there is more so on the ball. I have a lot of weight is being put on the ball of my foot on this leg, but it's starting to really make major improvements. And I wish that I charted all of my like this before so that you guys can see the progression. But take your time to do your stretches, reaching, make sure that you're keeping your rib cage. There's all sorts of muscles in here that have probably collapsed on one another and have become tight. So you have to make sure that see how you can almost see the difference in posture as I push out with my head. So you want to push out. Don't think down, okay, but think more so out so that you can elongate here at the hips, and that hip gets a good stretch, okay? Yeah. So even reaching forward, not only are you moving, or not only are you stretching the hamstring, you may have tight hamstrings, and there are some tightnesses here in my hamstrings as well. But the problem may be coming from an inflexible hip ball and socket, or the gluteal muscles around that, or it could be coming from like the lower back, from the erector spinae lumbardum. I hope I said that right. And if there's somebody else that knows the tech, there's this one, his name, I can't recall his name. I'll leave it in the description, but I really enjoy watching his anatomy. He's from the UK. Cobb, I think his last name. I'll put the name in the description. Okay, guys. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, just make sure that you have a nice long spine, because if not, what's going to happen is you're going to be bending right here somewhere in your lower back. You don't want this action. You want a nice tall action and pulling from the spine. Mind you, guys, I have not taken, once again, if I haven't said it already, I don't know, but I have not taken or been a part of any formal yoga classes or anything like that. These stretches are derived from my practice in the martial arts. And though I was not stretching with the proper technique and neglecting certain things because, oh yeah, I'm 17 years old, so blah, blah, blah. I'll stretch for a few seconds and then hop into it. But now, being that I've been practicing for a long time, I see the necessary functions of each thing and how each thing has to work in correspondence with one another. They have to give way so that that can give way, so this can give way, so that can give way, so everything works in harmony with one another. Yeah, so that's what the idea is. Even now, I'm stretching and I'm trying to fight for this upright position right here, but letting the hip relax. I'm fighting for, and as you can see, there is a little compensation. And notice I've said in previous videos that other parts of your body will compensate, or other parts of your body have become weaker because they haven't been supporting in the proper fashion. That's why, like, things like ballet are very important, because it teaches you how to correct your posture, how to rotate at the hip, all of these different things. It is, I would say, in alignment with yoga. If you really dig deep into the practice and the training of muscle groups, how to strengthen, how to relax certain muscle groups, and it all makes sense it makes practical, logical sense when you practice it, and then you'll begin to figure out certain things. If you allow the current to flow, you'll pick up information, and information will come from within out, and you'll be like, oh, whoa, that's what I've been doing this whole time, but I didn't have the basis for it. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, now moving on to this leg, I have a tight turnout on this leg, and the tightness, and I can't sit up, and I've always had this problem, but it's been improving. The hip is, I can feel it relaxing as I'm going, because it's used to this. It's used to going a little bit deeper than this when I have time, but I'm just warming up right now. So now, yeah, as I was saying, there's some tightness, of course, in the hip, and if you have a tightness, and which is my problem, I'm not claiming to be the best at this, the most flexible, but I'm gaining the flexibility, and you guys are going to see an increase in the flexibility. Watch if you move along with me. So anyway, keep the back nice and tall. What happens here is, if you have tightness and this hip is not rotating, if it's not rotating properly, it's not going to allow you to sit straight up directly. Your hips are going to roll. It's going to be an posterior tilt. Okay, it's going to be a posterior tilt. What you want to do is try to tilt your pelvis anteriorly, or to the front, anteriorly or to the front. Okay, I don't have both feet placed together such as this. I'm only working one leg at a time. I'm not like this in a complete, this is a poor excuse for a full butterfly, but I've got to work on it. But anyway, I have one leg open, relaxed to the side. I'm using both of my hands as support behind me, and I'm trying to get my pelvis to tilt forward, okay? To where my bottom side is going to be more behind me, and the top side of the pelvis is going to be leaning forward. That's what you're doing. So if this was the pelvis, or the highest peak, or the plateau of the pelvis, your pelvis is rotating forward. That's what you want to do, is try to get a forward rotation in this position, so that your pelvis can freely move. Your pelvis is supposed to be able to freely move. Remember, when you were a baby, you were able to sit. You can sit with the legs would be open. You can cross them over. You can transition from one. You hear a pot or pan over there, you look, and your hips would go in that direction. But somewhere along the line of our daily living, some of us may have become very tight at the hips, and even the shoulders, and certain other muscle groups up along the chain, up along that wheel, okay? Up along that chain, once something is knocked off balance, it sets everything else kind of off balance, like a wheel alignment. We get wheel alignments for our car. Why not the same for our body? This has to be a normal, regular practice. So anyway, once again, this leg right here, left leg, I'm on left leg. I'm trying to get it to where the foot stays open, and it just naturally opens at the hip. So this foot will then open up more But as a result of the hip falling forward, now what I have, and I'm forcing it, now what I have is a problem here in which my foot kind of, it feels more comfortable when it's pointed downward, but I want for it to open up so that I can create softness in my foot down here. Once the hip opens up here, the softness in the foot on the outer ridge of this leg is going to be like restored, and on the heel side, because the heel side will rotate out and rest comfortably open, So that's what the idea is. I want for this to become like nice and flat. Keep my toes, come on, toes, straighten up. So anyway, yeah, stay. All right, so I want for this hip to rotate open. Okay, I want for it to rotate open, and naturally, I'm controlling my foot, but naturally the foot will flow in whatever direction that the hip is. Remember, water seeks its own balance. So the muscle groups as well, meaning that we're primarily made up of water, we should be able to think about it. If they say 3/4 of our body is water, then we should be able to move fluidly, right? From one thing to another. We should be able to raise our legs up behind our head. But over time, the central nervous system gets taxed by traumatic experiences, and that those muscle groupings and those tissues hold on to that traumatic experience, whether or not you think, look. So anyway, stretching. Keep stretching. Spend time with yourself. Journal. Exercise on a regular basis. Listen to good music. Laugh as much as you can. Laugh a billion times. As much as don't kill yourself laughing, but I'm just saying, just laugh. Find something funny. You know what I'm saying? You see a cat fight or something, and a bird comes and tries to eat their tail. Like Tony Baker. Tony Baker is one of the best freaking animal voiceover guys. He's super dope. Tony B, if you ever see this video, man, just holler at your boy. Just say what's up. You ain't even got to say nothing. You just give me the thumb, man. Just give me the thumb. And I love that. I never knew. I love that shit, man. But anyway, stretch it out every single day. Make sure that that your hips, you want to make a mind and muscle body connection between your hips and your mind. You have to focus your attention there, basically, is what I'm saying. Intently focus it there and see if you can shift your attention from one position or space of tightness in your hip or shoulder, because even the shoulder, if this shoulder back here is tight, it's not going to allow me to reach forward. If I'm reaching forward and this shoulder is tight, it's going to start twisting my body off to compensate for the tightness here. So I've got tightness here and here. So I have to remedy both of these things. This tightness down here in this hip from going forward, and this tightness from the shoulder. So feel for it, little by little, by little. Okay, so anyway, that is it on this video. All right. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, don't forget to visit me over at Planet. This is Planet KG. Over at KG Grooves and KG the singer. Yeah. Okay, my bird. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we do. Okay, anyway, out of here. Like, comment, subscribe, share this thing with everybody that you know. Okay, cool. Peace, and I'm out.